Hi everybody, Chef India, and this is Sauce, Spice, and Smoke. Today we're gonna make a spicy honey walnut shrimp. Spicy honey walnut shrimp is something that you'll see. As you guys know, I love Asian cuisine. It's something that you can have as a snack. You can have it for dinner. It's easy to make. You can make it for your family, your friends, and I'm gonna show you how to make that today, right now. So before we get to it, let's talk through our ingredients, okay? So to start, you're going to need shrimp. I've got some clean, medium-sized shrimp here, and you guys should know how to clean and devein shrimp. If you don't, that's a whole nother video we need to make. We're going to shallow fry these shrimp in some cornstarch. So cornstarch is an agent that is great for frying. You don't always have to fry in all-purpose flour. Cornstarch is really good for crispiness, and I think it's gonna be great on the shrimp, and it's typically fried in cornstarch. So we're gonna season our shrimp, we're gonna season our cornstarch, and speaking of seasonings, let's talk about the seasonings and spices and sauces we're gonna make today. It is Sauce, Spice, and Smoke after all. So we've got a couple different things here. We've got some cane sugar. You guys know I love cane sugar. I've got my standard onion powder, garlic powder. I love onion and garlic powder in almost everything. The same thing with salt and pepper. We've got some salt and pepper for basic seasonings, the foundation. We've got some walnuts because this is spicy honey walnut shrimp. For the sauce foundation of this, it is a mayo-based sauce. So I don't usually make mayo-based sauce all the time, but this is gonna be sweet, it's gonna be spicy, and once it hits that crispy fried shrimp, it's all gonna come together quite nicely, and I love this sauce. So we've got some mayo here, some sweetened condensed milk. So I almost said sugar because it is very sweet, it's very sugary, like a sugary glaze, but sweetened condensed milk is something you can find in your local grocery store, and that's gonna help sweeten up our sauce. We also have some Sauce Queen honey hot sauce. This is a shameless plug for my product. However, if you are wanting to make this at home for yourself, you can use regular honey. You can use some chili powder, some paprika. If you want to spice this up, if you don't like spicy, you could just use standard honey. But I'm gonna use my honey hot sauce to make this a spicy honey walnut chicken. And then we've got 3 eggs that we're gonna beat to kind of help fry our shrimp with the cornstarch. So we've got some vegetable oil here. You're gonna need a couple bowls for stirring and mixing. I've got my tools, and then I've got some green onion for garnish. So yeah, why don't we get going on this? Let's make some spicy honey walnut shrimp. First thing we're gonna do is we're going to season our shrimp. You need to season your food and your dishes at all levels. Start from the bottom. So our main thing in this is going to be the shrimp. So we're going to season with our salt and pepper mix. This is just standard black pepper, salt. We're gonna season that. We're going to do our onion, garlic powder, and just a touch of the cane sugar. This is a sweet and savory dish, right? We're gonna take our tongs. We're just gonna let that get covered. And then once this is seasoned, we're gonna set it aside. Next, we're gonna season our cornstarch. Now we could leave this plain, but again, season at all levels. So we're just gonna kind of repeat what we just did. Salt and pepper goes in the cornstarch. Onion and garlic powder. And cane sugar. Okay. Now, using your fingers, I've got a spice spoon here. I'm just going to mix this up a bit, get all the spices incorporated into that cornstarch. So we have our shrimp seasoned, and now we have our cornstarch seasoned. I'm gonna put that aside. Next, eggs. We've got 3 eggs here. We're gonna crack these. Boom, eggs and yolks. And then with a whisk, you're going to whisk up your eggs. Give it a flick of the wrist. All right, our egg is good to go. Gonna rinse the sauce here. We are gonna need it again for our sauce. Okay, so I've got my seasoned shrimp, my seasoned cornstarch, and now I've got my egg yolk ready to go. So before we start frying, we need to heat up some oil in our pan. So we're gonna go ahead and get that going. To a medium pan, you're gonna add some vegetable oil. So we do want a good bit of vegetable oil. We're not deep frying, we're shallow frying. So you wanna add just enough that you know that your shrimp are gonna get covered, but not too much oil where we're deep frying there. So while that is heating up, we're gonna go ahead and talk about our sauce. So spicy honey walnut shrimp. The walnut is really gonna come in as a garnish, but we're gonna make this spicy honey sauce, right? That's mayo based. So we're gonna start with our mayo. So this is about maybe 4 or 5 tablespoons of just regular mayonnaise. That's gonna go into a bowl, okay? We've got our sweetened condensed milk. This is about 3 tablespoons. That's gonna go into a bowl as well. Okay, now this is my honey hot sauce, which is wildflower honey infused with all different types of chilies and spices. It will be available for sale this summer. It's coming soon, I'm so excited. However, you don't want it spicy, use regular honey. Again, that's just addition to the sweetened condensed milk that's gonna make this dish sweet. And if you wanna add some spice, again, some chili powder, some paprika, any type of spicy powder that you like, or maybe some sriracha or something like that, you can mix in with your honey to kind of get that spicy honey effect. So we're gonna go in with about 3 tablespoons as well. And I'm gonna reserve some for possibly drizzling. Okay, so we've got our wet ingredients in, season at all levels, right? So we're gonna go in with our salt and pepper again. Our onion powder and our garlic powder. And then a 3rd level of sweetness, just a little bit of our cane sugar here. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna mix. And you wanna just get all these ingredients incorporated. Again, mix it really well. You're gonna see those spices come through. That honey and the sweetened condensed milk is gonna get in there, mix in with that mayo. And then what we should really have here is a good sauce. So let's go ahead and taste it. Just gonna take, I'm a pinky taster. Man, it's pretty good. And very familiar from what you might get from your Asian restaurant when it comes down to that. So our sauce is pretty much done. So this is what it looks like. It looks good. This sauce you can refrigerate, put into an airtight container. If you make excess, you can use it for up to about a week or so. Again, as you use it, you want to make sure that you put it in a container, put an expiration date on it so you know how long it'll last. That's very important when you're making sauces, especially things that are perishable and you're putting into the fridge. Quick sauce and spice and smoke tip. All right, so let's check our oil, see where we are. We're almost there. All right, so to fry this shrimp, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our seasoned shrimp, we're gonna dip it in an egg, dip it in the cornstarch. We'll set it on the pan here just for now until we get all of them ready to go and while our oil is continuously heating. So, egg, cornstarch. You just want a light coating. We're not looking for like super thick crust here. Cornstarch. Just takes a couple seconds, in and out, a little shake, and then you'll have that done for each one. So we've got our shrimp coated, ready to go. What we're gonna do is just take each one, and then we're going to place them in the pan. We're at like 390 on our oil. Actually, I'm gonna do these with my hands. The tongs aren't really working out. Just gonna set each one in the oil. Let these fry up. Don't want to overcrowd your pan, so I'll put in a few. So it only takes about maybe 3 minutes on each side. I already feel the crust from the cornstarch on the first side that I put down. I'm flipping them over so they can get crusty on the other side. And then in a few minutes, we'll go ahead and take these out. All right, so we're gonna take these out. I've got a piece of paper towel here for immediate oil removal. You definitely wanna get the oil off of these because if you don't, then they will become soggy and we won't get that crunch when we add the sauce to it. All right, we're gonna do the rest of these. All right, so we're gonna take out the rest of our shrimp. It smells so good already just from the frying. And just simple seasonings, right? We've got that salt, that pepper, that onion, garlic. We've got some sweetness. So what we're gonna do is we need to toss these. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of our sauce, put it down in the bottom of another bowl, right? And then I'm just gonna take my shrimp and we're gonna add them in. Just depends on how saucy you want things. You don't want to over sauce. So we're going to start small. And then we're just going to then take our tongs or whatever tool you want to use, kind of mix these up, see how much the sauce kind of covers and see if you want to add more or less. And I think that's kind of just enough. Well, we're just going to add a little bit more. Okay. Now, before we plate this, we need to add two things for garnish. We're gonna add some chopped walnuts. So I've already chopped these down to the size that I want. Just gonna add that in. And then we're going to take some green onion and we're gonna cut that. I'm gonna go for the green part. So basically, all we're gonna do is, I'm gonna do like a chiffonade almost. Cut my green onion. You could do them thick, thin, however you want. A lot of times I do a diagonal cut, but we're adding this for freshness. So the walnut's gonna give us the crunch, green onion's gonna give us the freshness, the sauce is gonna be the sauce, and the shrimp, we've got some crunch as well. Okay? So I'm gonna add a little bit in, and I'll save a few just to see exactly how I want this to look on the plate. And man, we've got our honey walnut shrimp. So let's go ahead and plate this, right? I'm all about plating. Again, you can serve this for dinner, as a snack, as an appetizer at a party. So what we're gonna do is just we're gonna take a few. We're gonna go down here on the plates. We're just gonna pile them up in the center. Okay. Make sure we've got our walnut and our green onion. Okay. I'm gonna add a little bit more so we really get that green to pop. And then I'm just going to add a little drizzle. Of the honey hot sauce, just for a little added kick. Oh my God. And there we have it. We have our spicy honey walnut shrimp. This looks amazing. Amazing. Looks amazing. All right, so our spicy honey walnut shrimp, very quick, very easy to make. Basically, we took some medium shrimp, we seasoned it, fried them in cornstarch. We had a lot of different things going on from a spice and sauce perspective. From our spices, onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper. We made this a little bit spicy using my honey hot sauce, but you can make yours spicy by just adding some honey and some chili powder together. And then we fried it, tossed it in our sauce, garnished it with some green onion and honey and some walnuts, and here we are. So I'm just gonna try one just because it just looks amazing. Okay, so before I really get into this entire plate, the seasoning is on point. So you don't need a whole lot of seasoning to go far. Again, salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder for the most part. Of course, the honey brings out the seasoning, the sweetness, but we also use the cane sugar and the sweetened condensed milk brought that out as well. So make this for your friends, your family. They will totally enjoy that. And again, this sauce can be saved. It can be used at any time. If you save it correctly, just put it in your fridge. It'll last up to a week or two, depending upon the type of container you put it in. And yeah, you always have like a spicy, sweet, mayo-y situation for something fried. This will go on shrimp, chicken, anything like that. You want to toss in a quick sauce. This is the sauce to do it in. So please write that one down, put it in your recipe book, keep it for future reference. This is why we do this show. I appreciate your time today. Always remember to like this video and subscribe so you always get the notifications when we have new videos available. I appreciate your time. I'm Chef India. This is Sauce, Spice, and Smoke, and I am out. Peace. See y'all next time.